Hi parents, so I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to sew the ribbons, okay, on this type of shoe that has a crisscross elastic, okay. This is a little bit harder just because you already have too much going on with the shoe. As you recall, in the other tutorial, I showed you how to sew with one strap. Now, and remember, you have to sew it on both sides for each shoe. On this one, this comes with two straps and it's crisscross. Okay, so it generally follows the same guideline, but I'm gonna give you two options. Okay, so the first option is you basically do the same thing. You fold the tip, okay? Fold the tip, and right at the intersection, that's where you can sew your first elastic, okay? Lo que digo es la primera opción, como este zapato viene ya con dos cruces, bueno, con una cruz de elástico, tienen dos opciones para cómo coser el listón, ok, que se le va a aplicar. Puede doblar la parte trasera del zapato, ok, you fold the back part of the shoe, y donde hay la intersección o donde se dobla, en la esquinita, ahí se cose el primer listón. En la otra esquinita se cose el segundo. So where the two ends meet, basically here, yeah, that's where you would sew one elastic and then one elastic, okay? Now, if you don't want to sew it from there, you can also sew it from the front. This one will cover and take up a little bit more space, but if your daughter needs more support from the arch, you can sew it from there, okay? Right in front of the elastic or right in front of the elastic. Lo que acabo de decir es que si su niña pide más soporte en lo que es el empeine o en el arco de su pie, en vez de coserle acá atrásito, puede coserle enfrente, justo al lado del elástico que va ahí. O sea que se miraría más, cubriría más del zapato. Ok, así que lo cosería aquí por dentro y lo cosería aquí por dentro de este lado, para que los dos listones vayan, cuando se amarren, se crucen. Yeah, so you would tie one ribbon here, and then whenever you tie them, they end up crossing around the ankle. Okay, so let me show you one version, and then I'm gonna show you the other version, okay? Okay, parents, so we're gonna start off with sewing the back portion. Once you've already pre-cut your ribbons into 4 equal pieces, I ask that you fold one of the ends, into a little rectangle. Okay, ya que cortaron el listón en 4 partes iguales, quiero que me doblen lo que es una de los de la parte de, o sea, de donde termina el listón, que me lo doble como en un rectangulito así como este, ¿ok? Así es como se va a coser para que aguante más, ya que como es muy elástico, si nada más cosemos una capita, con el tiempo se va rompiendo y rompiendo y rompiendo y no les va a durar mucho. Okay, so the reason why we sew it in a rectangle overlapped is because it will last longer. Yeah, over time, if you only sew one layer, it's going to start fraying and fraying, and then eventually they're just going to pop out of the shoe, and we don't want that. Okay, so we're going to start sewing it in the back. Now, make sure that we sew it on the inner layer, okay? Try not to go too much on the outside, and try not to sew on the elastic, okay? You need that for flexibility. If you sew onto the elastic, your shoe's not gonna stretch and it's gonna feel really, really tight. You wanna sew underneath it, okay, on the inside. Let me show you the finished product. Okay, so this is what would be a semi-finished product. Obviously, I didn't sew it as I normally would due to lack of time, but I secured it enough so where it's sewn all the way around. I would recommend that you sew it tighter stitching, yeah, especially on the top part right here, okay? I just did a basic sample so that you could know, but I want it really, really, really tight. Lo que quiero decir es que yo ahorita por cuestión de tiempo, nada más para demostrarles, no lo hice como debe ser, o sea que debe ser muy tupidito la costura, pero ustedes sí, para que se lo refuercen y no se les vaya a romper. Se cose todo en rectángulo alrededor. Así que y se le cose un listón en este, otro listón en este y lo mismo con el otro zapato. Y por fuera, vean, nada, no se nota nada. Asegúrense que cosa nada más por lo que es la lona, por dentro. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the other option. The first one that I showed you was sewing in the back, okay? And now I'm going to show you how to sew the the ribbon in the front part of the shoe, okay? Remember I said that's if your daughter wants more support on the arch, okay? So that it lifts up the shoe. Esta opción es para los que quieran más refuerzo o más soporte en el área del empeine y del arco, ok, del pie. Así que coseríamos enfrente del listón, ok. Déjenme mostrárselos. Same thing as the other option that I gave you. You want to make sure you fold the end of the ribbon into a little rectangle, as you see here. And then you're going to start sewing it right about there next to the elastic. Make sure that you don't sew, like I said, on the elastic here. Otherwise, your shoe is not going to be able to stretch. You want to sew underneath it, okay, what would be the canvas itself. And try not to sew too much through the shoe. Otherwise, we're going to see the thread on the outside. And that's very unflattering, okay. Asegúrense de que cosan por dentro la parte de la lona y no necesariamente la parte de afuera del zapato. Favor de no coser en el elástico, ya que si lo cosen ahí no va a poder estirar mucho el zapato y no va a ser tan flexible. Va a quedar muy apretado, ok, tengan eso en mente. Okay, so I finally finished sewing this one. As you can see, I sewed around in a rectangle and you want to make it a tighter stitch. This is just for a brief demo, okay? Lo que pido es que esté más tupidito la costura, acuérdense. Ahorita nada más lo hice separadito para nada más mostrarles cómo coserlo, ok. Y ya queda el elástico así, ¿ve? Asegúrese de coserlo de este lado, del otro lado también, la otra tirita y lo mismo con el otro zapato.